This guy right here was a battery powered setup I had. This is the circuit for it. Same circuit in here. I've converted this one over to be battery powered. So this is one of the first, I guess you can say, complete deals that I've made where it's got a 12-volt battery inside. It's got a charging circuit that I can recharge it with, and it's just got the boost module and interrupter. If I want to, let's just say, run it like a Slayer exciter for an extended period of time, then I can just crank the voltage down to about as low as I can get it. Probably about 12-13 volts, or lower if I play with the voltage divider, or again get the interrupted arcs. It's just this little ground lead here. Voltage is set pretty low. On now, and if I cut the voltage up, eventually get it going. So that's probably about 15 volts, somewhere between 13 and 15 volts. So the lower voltage, you know, something like that range, can get some pretty cool continuous wave if I wanted to. So here's a little black light. But, you know, the purpose of that would be, you know, again, Slayer exciter purposes. If I wanted to have this so it could run and power a little light like this for an extended period of time, then, again, cut the voltage down, put the BPS pretty much all the way up. Of course, there's not a whole lot of fun in that, so that's about the 16-volt region right there. And about 24. That's about 24 volts. And that's about 34 right here, all the way up. Little guy right here, got him running a little better too. He's not too tiny, but he's the smallest one of these circuits I got. But before, I think I struggled to get about a couple inches, and now I get a little bit more. Plus the way that I've isolated it and got it laid out. And push about almost, I haven't tried 30, but about 27 is about the max I've fed it. So this is about 26. This one right here is the one that, with this coil, but actually with a different circuit, I got about 8-inch arcs from the max output that I could get from this DC supply, which is about 31 volt. I was playing switcheroo with coils and circuits, and I'm not quite sure where the original circuit for this ended up. It might be in that one right there, and this is one that I basically beefed this one up. I'll have to show that a little better later, but I beefed this one up to where I wanted it to be the most robust, reliable one I had, to where I could run it at any output. I believe what I ended up with was, I didn't quite get the same output. You know, the circuit up where I had it set up to get 8-inch arcs, everything was very meticulous and the tuning was very critical. And I felt like that was about the ceiling I could reach. And when running it, I just didn't feel confident it would hold up. I felt worried at times, depending on if I set it somewhere different and the tuning kind of got thrown off and I tried to draw arcs to the hand, I might pop the FETs, which happened a couple times. So I just got frustrated with that and changed it around to this. So this is what I ended up with, which is sort of similar to a couple other ones. I can adjust this primary slightly if I wanted to. Right now it's just set to give the highest output voltage. If I cut that one up, it's about 25 volts. Then sort of same deal. I don't really get the output to free air until I up the voltage. Of course it's set up to to jump. It'll jump to your hand. So that's not bad for 24 or 25 volts as far as to the hand goes. So the other circuit, I was getting closer to something like this right here. It needs to go another 2 inches at least, 2.5, 3 inches to get what I was getting before. And if I crank that up, if I put it all the way up, it doesn't really change a whole lot. So about 28 or so is all it really needs. So it's close. You might be getting about 7 inches. But I'd say it's not quite there. But again, whatever. This one, you can see I can get some beefy output from it. So you can see I can hover it on about, well, let's put it on 90. I can bring it up to about 90 watts. Yeah, so that's about 90 watt operation, 30 volts. And it's not bad. And it'll run that. I do have a fan blowing on the very tiny heat sinks down there. But yeah, anyway, there's that deal. Tiny heat sinks on there. Here's an example of the same type of circuit, like in this battery one, all the other ones that I've got, except I've just beefed this one up some more. Just beefier drain cap setup. This is my primary tank cap, 33 nanofarad. It's a legit capacitor. A lot of bus capacitance there, low ESR caps. Just all stacked on there. As you can see, even with a smaller coil like that, just running from the battery and the boost circuit, where I'm not really pulling a whole lot of amps, and get a fairly nice little fat bush out of that, which is what I like. The last one I had gave me a nice little line arc, but I couldn't get as fat of a bush as I could with this one.